Ah, yes, only 3 Mega Gems, the perfect amount for this conversation. Is Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links a free-to-play game? And for a long time, I thought that the free-to-play community could definitely pretty much just skate by with decks like Hazy Flame, Amazoness, and other things. But today, I really realized something that, of course, you guys probably already know. A lot of you already know this. That it's easy to win if you go in and just spend, a small amount of money on a box. Now, you can spend a little bit of money on the new selection box here that is available. It comes with a lot of the key staples, but most importantly, it does come with this one card called Necrovalley. Now, Necrovalley is a counterplay card that literally destroys the current meta that we play in, because most every main deck, vampires being one of the most popular, obviously, pulls monsters out of the graveyard to gain advantage over your opponent. Now with Necrovalley, it completely shuts that down and prevents your opponent from moving any card from the graveyard to another place. Meaning if you have any effects that work in the graveyard where you have to move a card out of the grave to the banish zone, to the field, to the graveyard again, this effect will not work because it's worded very specifically. Negate any card effect that changes types or attributes in the graveyard. Negate any card effect that would move a card in the graveyard to a different place. It's very clear in what it means. Now, a card like this can only be acquired inside of this selection box, which eventually will be available in some other box. Now you can easily go ahead and pay into this box and purchase this card, but it's going to cost you because there is a number of ultra rare cards for you to pick up here that are in the way. And for someone who has already purchased these cards, it might not be all that big of a deal, but for someone who has not purchased these cards before, especially like a new player, you can come in and buy these cards pretty much immediately, and then also pick yourself up a Necrovalley too. So not only can you counter the current meta, but you can also play the current meta because these cards exist inside of this box. Now, let's talk about the structure deck that we need to make this work. Now, currently we have 2 powerful structure decks out, which is number 1, these Spellbound Silence, which is basically the same thing as the Spellbound Silence. They run a card called Silent Magician and Silent Swordsman that gives you the ability to negate a spell card and float into a strong monster that's unaffected by spells. Also, they have a quick play search card that gives that specific card a boost or some sort of reason why you should play this, and then also a search. Now, if you go ahead and look at the Spellbound Silence, as I mentioned, it's the exact same thing. A quick play spell card that gives you a free search. Also, it plays into the advantage of the main box card. Also, this card is special summoned the exact same way by tributing a monster of the same type and then special summoning this card to the field, giving you a negate. And then when this card is destroyed, you can float into another monster that is unaffected by spells. Clearly, this box and the other box, Spellbound Silence, is telling you one key thing. That number 1, floating is powerful in Duel Links. And number 2, having a negate and immunity is very powerful in Duel Links. So these 2 things are readily available for purchase in both of these boxes, basically released almost about 6 months apart. So I'm not really sure what they plan on releasing in the next 6 months, but I'm sure that it'll be something that floats and something that negates. Now, my whole argument about this thing is that I don't necessarily think that this is bad. I've told many people in the past before that I think that free to play is dead in Duel Links, and building an honest to God free to play deck right out the gate with no cash money is going to be really hard. But it is somewhat still possible, because there may be a chance that you could get lucky on packs and get lucky on your deck build, and then maybe you'll be able to build yourself a 100% free to play deck. But honestly, I don't think that that's going to be a thing anymore. I think what Konami is moving towards, and what I've been mentioning and telling people about, is that they're going to be these low entry fee decks. To build this deck, you basically only have to buy, I think, no, not only, you do have to buy, I believe, 3 of the Spellbound Silence structure decks. And after purchasing 3 of the Spellbound Silence structure decks, it's clear to me that you'll have enough to play this deck effectively, because using Jesse Anderson and Transcendent Crystals is not very hard, because it's easy to unlock this character and it's easy to level up this character and get this skill. As soon as you get Transcendence Crystals, you're off to the races. You don't really need anything else. The main engine in this deck is basically getting out Silent Magician on the first turn and telling your opponent, I dare you to deal with it. And 9 times out of 10, your opponent can't handle this card unless they play 3 Floodgate Trap Holes and 3 Wall of D. And typically they don't play that many cards. But if they do play Wall of D or Floodgate, you can just run Back Row Removal or a Genzo, which is easy for you to pick up because Genzo is actually pretty free to play. Genzo is free to play. So on top of everything else, you can control the board with your Silent Magician, and then you can activate this card Necrovalley. So when you activate Necrovalley and put it next to your Silent Magician, not only will you be able to get your Silent Magician's effect off, you can special summon your Silent Magician level 8. And if you run more than 1, it makes your opponent have to hop over 2 of these. And it's very easy for you to easily get 2 monsters out because you run Silent Burning, which you can casually throw away with Transcendent Crystal at any moment, giving you not only some of the most optimal plays in Duel Links, but literally giving you some of the most consistent plays in Duel Links, providing you with Silent Magician or Silent Swordsman if you're playing that deck first turn every single game. So with that being said, I can clearly see that there is a clear focus, a clear push towards these structure deck EX decks, and I can clearly see that with these structure deck EX decks, it's going to be very easy to win. Given the power of spell books, being able to use monsters like Silent Magician, it just pushes that even further. You go ahead and spend that $11 and you can get 2 of these and you can just go right in. But then let's say you already see how powerful it is. You go ahead and spend that extra $6.99. You just spent $7 more. Now you've spent $18. You spent $20 with tax. $20 will get you a King of Games deck ready to play, and all you need to do is fill in the blanks. Everything else is free to play. Everything else is easy to get. So I think that Konami's going to be focusing moving forward and putting out these $20 decks that come out that's just going to automatically be able to just destroy whatever meta it is, because they're going to have a couple key abilities: a negate, a float, and a boss monster. And that's just flat out. And I really feel like that's just something that they're always going to do, because clearly not at this point with a Spellbound Silence and that Warrior Silence, whatever, they just shown a clear track record of telling you, all right, well, we're going to provide you basically every 6 months with some sort of monster that can basically be the boss of the meta. So, I mean, I want to know what you guys' opinion is. Honestly, I think that it's not necessarily a bad thing that you can pay $20 and be competitive in Duel Links. However, I do find it very annoying that powerful things like this exist for for around $20. Like, you don't have to invest in a box. You can go ahead and spend your $20 and have this powerful ass combo. And then on top of that, if you spend just a little extra cash, you dig a little bit deeper into that wallet, you start playing the card Lotto, and you pick up a couple Necrovalleys, you're pretty much unstoppable, because in a deck that runs these Spellbound cards, or the warrior version, having a monster that can negate any spell protects your Necrovalley. And if they kill the monster that protects Necrovalley, they have to end their turn, because normally they got to kill it by battle. After they kill it by battle, it's your turn. You can put another one right back out there, and then on top of that, you have a boss monster. It's pretty clear to me what the most power crept deck is right now, but I mean, it's up to y'all to let me know what you think. So let me know what you think in the comments below. Do you think we have a pay to win problem, or do you think that a $20 meta defining deck is just fine? But let me know what you think, my boys, in the comments below. And as always, keep it dank.